Hi, this is Kerry Artek with Wicked Stocks, bringing you the daily Apple report for Wednesday, July 19th, 2023. Before I click through the charts, as usual, just want to encourage you to please click like and subscribe to the Wicked Stocks YouTube channel. And if you would, share the content with friends and colleagues. And check out wickedstocks.com, where we offer a full suite of both daily and weekly analytical videos just like this. Daily analysis in the SPY and Triple Q, weekly analysis in the S&P 500, NASDAQ 100, and the long bond ETF, the TLT, as well as 2 individual stock picks a week in video format like this that you never see on YouTube, that cater to the 3 to 5 week swing trader out to the 3 to 5 month near-term investor. In fact, on Tuesday, we put out a video analysis of Netflix a day ahead of earnings, and we present the parameters, the conditions in which we may receive a significant buy signal as we move into the fourth quarter. So check out wickedstocks.com. You got a 5-day free trial. You can actually see the Netflix video for free and bail out on your 5th day. I don't know why I'm saying that, but some people do that. So anyway, but I don't think you will, because I think you'll like the analysis. Anyway, here we are, Daily Apple Report for Wednesday, July 19th. Just to backtrack a little bit, start with the big picture, work our way into the day itself. About 2 months ago, a little over that, we actually closed above a significant descending flag at the top of a long-term high, the all-time high, 169.51. When we closed above it, I've been mentioning how 222.78 and rising is considered a by the end of the year objective, and I still hold to that. We did about a month and a half ago close above the previous all-time high set in January of 22 at 182.94. So that is the big picture. Now for where to go, I'm going to take a look at this chart here, 193.97. I'm going to backtrack a little bit on this one as well, and that is to say that we've been trading inside the confines of this very well-defined 4-month channel structure. We tested it a couple of weeks ago, and at that time, I'd mentioned how you should prepare for the possibility of the channel bottom that is presently at 187.56. We could trade inside, rotate inside of this formation for weeks to come. Now, in terms of upside bullish continuation through the rest of the week, that comes with a settlement today above 193.97. If we push or open today above, is this it? That's not it. Let's see. Here it is. If we push or open today above 193.97, this 196.75 rising 1-week channel top is in reach today. That would be quite a rally. So I hate to say that it's expected, but it certainly may well be reached. We have seen days like this over the last few months, and if we push, especially if we open today above 193.97, you should at least allow for 196.75 intraday. And if we close today above 193.97, that is the high settlement price going back a few weeks ago. Now we did close we closed just above it by a hair, actually, on Monday, closed below it on Tuesday, and if we close above 193.97, on Wednesday, then the 199.89 channel top is once again considered I'm going to say by the end of next week objective. That's about a week and a half away. I think we'd have a nice run up to 199.89 and climbing, where we could top out on a weekly basis, and once tested, you guessed it, we could fall back to the channel base that is presently at 187. This is actually 187.56. This was not updated, so do I have that properly shown here? 187.56. So yes, once we test the 199.89 formation, we could fall back to 187.56 within a couple of weeks. And those are the assumptions I think you can make structurally as we move into August trade. Now, overall, we're expecting the 220s, 230s by the end of the year, and a settlement above 199.89 if we do close above 199.89 or this formation over the next, say, week or two. That would be consistent with the longer-term outlook, and I would expect this 211.66 channel top, which is a longer-term formation, within 2 to 3 weeks of closing above 199.89. And you can see on this chart how it is rising through time. That 211.66 on the daily chart is on the weekly chart 213 even. And as we move into August trade, I think it's later August, it actually converges anyway with 222.78. So really what I'm saying here is that if we were to close above 199.89 over the next week or two, I think you could, by the end of August, assume that we will have reached our 222.78 by the end of the year objective, where I might add, we could top out through the rest of the year and possibly through the first quarter of next and fall off back to perhaps the low 180s within 3 to 5 months of doing that. But I don't want to get too far ahead of myself. These are just sort of imagined scenarios, but based on realistic chart structure. Let's take a look at the downside today. So do I have that blown up anywhere? Let me just see if I do. Yes, I do. So 191.84, and you can see it again here on this chart. That is our day support. Our day resistance is 193.97. Our day support is 191.84. You can see it here. So holding below 193.97, 191.84 in reach. That is a 1-week channel bottom that can contain session weakness. And if we close today below 191.84, a good high for the week, over the next 2 to 3, 3 to 5 days, we should actually test that 187.56 channel bottom, which can contain selling not only through next week, but because of the longer-term buy signal, quite possibly through August trade. So 187.56 I actually have as a 4-star support, whereas the channel top at 199.89 I have as merely 3-star resistance to give this market room to the upside to move. Last thing I will say, and it's not going to happen today, but it might between now and say the end of next week, that we close below the 187.56 channel bottom. That is the first real sell signal we would have had in many weeks. And that should, closing below 187.56, yield the low to mid 170s within 2 to 3 weeks of doing so. And if we were to close below 187.56, I would encourage you to buy 175 out of the money puts that don't expire for at least a month. But we're a long way from that. In fact, if we're talking options and we test 187.56, you should then reach for 200 or 205 out of the money calls, because as I said earlier, that would be the 2 to 3 week reality once we test 187.56. And inversely, as I say, testing 199.89, you could then reach for 188, 190 out of the money puts that don't expire for at least several weeks. That is kind of the inside of this channel options play. I think I've said everything that needs to be said. I'm going to leave it at that for Wednesday's Apple Report. I'll be back tomorrow with Thursdays. Please click like, share, subscribe, and check out wickedstocks.com. You have a great evening.